लोक निर्णय 2024।
Welcome listeners to our ongoing series on elections, Lok Nirnaya 2024. In this program, we'll bring you election-related developments, various updates and analysis of general and assembly elections 2024. Well, I am Nishit Kumar and with me is my co-anchor in Hindi, Vishal Sharma.
नमस्कार श्रोताओं, आप सुन रहे हैं लोक प्रसारक के साथ लोक निर्णय 2024। इस कार्यक्रम में हम चुनाव से जुड़े समाचारों के साथ साथ स्टूडियो में आमंत्रित विशेषज्ञ के साथ चर्चा भी करेंगे। इसके अलावा चलेंगे अपने क्षेत्रीय संवाददाताओं के पास भी और जानने का प्रयास करेंगे कि वहाँ क्या चुनाव तैयारियां चल रही हैं। और आज स्टूडियो में आमंत्रित विशेषज्ञ हैं राजनीतिक विश्लेषक जयंत रॉय चौधरी। जयंत रॉय चौधरी जी, कार्यक्रम में आपका स्वागत।
धन्यवाद।
Welcome,
विशाल
Jayanto.
and Nishit, thanks.
Now let's listen to the news related to the elections, but first, the headlines. Withdrawal of candidature for the first phase of Lok Sabha elections end today. Lok Jan Shakti Party announces names of 5 Lok Sabha candidates of its quota in Bihar. The BJP forms election manifesto committee for the ensuing Lok Sabha elections. And the Communist Party of India, Marxist-Leninist, declares 4 candidates in Bihar and Jharkhand for the Lok Sabha elections.
लोकसभा चुनाव के पहले चरण के लिए नाम वापस लेने का आज अंतिम दिन। बिहार में लोक जनशक्ति पार्टी ने अपने कोटे के 5 लोकसभा उम्मीदवारों के नामों की घोषणा की। भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने आगामी लोकसभा चुनाव के लिए चुनाव घोषणा पत्र समिति बनाई और भारतीय कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी मार्क्सवादी लेनिनवादी ने लोकसभा चुनाव के लिए बिहार और झारखंड में 4 उम्मीदवारों की घोषणा की।
The process for the withdrawal of nominations for the first phase of Lok Sabha elections and assembly polls in Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh ends today. The nominations were closed on Wednesday and the scrutiny of papers was done on Thursday. In Bihar, the filing of papers for the 4 parliamentary seats of Gaya, Aurangabad, Nawada and Jamui in the first phase of parliamentary elections ended on Thursday. Scrutiny of nominations in the state will be held today. The last date of withdrawal of candidature in the state is the 2nd of April. And in the first phase, 102 Lok Sabha seats in 17 states, including Bihar and 4 union territories, will go to polls on the 19th of April. Simultaneously, single-phase polling for 32 assembly constituencies of Sikkim and 60 assembly constituencies in Arunachal Pradesh will also be held.
लोकसभा के पूर्व अध्यक्ष शिवराज पाटिल की पुत्रवधू अर्चना पाटिल चाकुरकर भारतीय जनता पार्टी में शामिल हो गई हैं। महाराष्ट्र के उप मुख्यमंत्री देवेंद्र फडणवीस और राज्य भाजपा अध्यक्ष चंद्रशेखर बावनकुले की उपस्थिति में आज उन्होंने पार्टी की सदस्यता ग्रहण की।
BJP President J.P. Nadda has announced the Election Manifesto Committee for the ensuing Lok Sabha elections. The 27-member committee will be headed by the senior BJP leader and Union Minister Rajnath Singh. Senior BJP leader Nirmala Sitharaman will be the convener and Piyush Goyal will be the co-convener of the committee.
बिहार में भारतीय कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी मार्क्सवादी लेनिनवादी ने लोकसभा चुनाव के लिए अपने प्रत्याशियों की घोषणा कर दी है। विपक्षी महागठबंधन में सीट बंटवारे को लेकर कल हुए समझौते के अनुसार पार्टी 3 लोकसभा सीटों आरा, नालंदा और काराकाट पर चुनाव लड़ेगी। आरा से सुदामा प्रसाद और नालंदा से संदीप सौरव चुनाव लड़ेंगे। राजा राम सिंह काराकाट लोकसभा क्षेत्र से प्रत्याशी होंगे। वहीं झारखंड में भारतीय कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी मार्क्सवादी लेनिनवादी ने लोकसभा चुनाव के लिए अपनी पार्टी के एकमात्र प्रत्याशी की घोषणा कर दी है। महागठबंधन में सीटों को लेकर हुए समझौते के अनुसार पार्टी कोडरमा संसदीय क्षेत्र से चुनाव लड़ेगी। पार्टी ने इस सीट के लिए मौजूदा विधायक विनोद सिंह को उम्मीदवार बनाया है।
Union Minister and BJP candidate from Nagpur constituency Nitin Gadkari held a massive roadshow in central Nagpur today. A large number of BJP supporters flocked to show their support for him. Mr. Gadkari is seeking a 3rd term in the lower house from Nagpur, where Lok Sabha elections 2024 will be held on the 19th of April in the first phase of the 5-phase polls in Maharashtra. Gadkari will face the main opposition from Congress party candidate Vikas Thakre, who is currently West Nagpur MLA and Nagpur District Congress President.
असम के मुख्यमंत्री हिमंत बिस्व शर्मा ने घोषणा की है कि असम सरकार लोकसभा चुनाव के बाद समान नागरिक संहिता यूसीसी लागू करेगी। कल गुवाहाटी में संवाददाताओं से बातचीत में उन्होंने कहा कि सरकार राज्य में बहुविवाह रोकने के लिए भी आवश्यक कदम उठा रही है। मुख्यमंत्री ने कहा कि असम में राष्ट्रीय जनतांत्रिक गठबंधन लोकसभा चुनाव में अच्छा प्रदर्शन करेगा।
And in Bihar, Chirag Paswan-led Lok Jan Shakti Party Ramvilas today announced names of party candidates for the 5 Lok Sabha seats of its quota. LJP-R is contesting Lok Sabha elections as part of the NDA, and it has got 5 seats from the BJP in seat sharing arrangement. Party President Chirag Paswan has changed his seat this time from Jamui to Hajipur parliamentary seat. Hajipur seat was represented by his father and former Union Minister late Ramvilas Paswan several times. Party has decided to again field Veena Devi, the sitting MP from Vaishali. She was among rebel MPs who shifted to Pashupati Kumar Paras-led LJP faction. After reconciliation, she has returned to the Chirag Paswan-led outfit. Rajesh Verma will be the party nominee from Khagadia Lok Sabha seat. Shambhavi Chaudhary, daughter of Bihar Minister Ashok Chaudhary, will contest from Samastipur parliamentary constituency. The 5th candidate, Arun Bharati, has already filed nominations from Jamui parliamentary seat. Jayanto, the BJP has announced its manifesto committee, and obviously Rajnath Singh is its chairman. How do you see the manifesto shaping up this time, as we can see that the BJP in its current mode has almost most of the goals which it had taken up in its 2019 manifesto seems to have been manifested this time.
It's very clear that when you have Nirmala Sitharaman as the convener and Rajnath Singh as the co-convener, that it's going to be a mixture of both economic and political goals. So Mr. Modi has been quite, again, very clear about his goals for having a $5 trillion economy, for making India Viksit Bharat, etc. So these will be certainly be reflected in the manifesto. Politically, Rajnath Singh is he's a savvy politician. He has good understanding of international relations. So there will be certain goals, international as well as domestic political goals, which will be enunciated in this manifesto. Manifesto formation is an important task, and usually it also defines the policy goals of the government if and when it comes to power. So we have to study the manifesto when it comes in, and obviously this is going to be a cornerstone for the party and for the government in the days ahead.
Just to follow up, Jayan, so now Nirmala Sitharaman being the co-convener of this committee, this is a very important step which the BJP leadership has actually taken. So now with India almost leapfrogging, by leaps and bounds in terms of the economy, do you see this as an important step? Because obviously Ms. Sitharaman would be having her inputs in the manifesto.
Yes, and that is possibly why she is the convener, because this manifesto is going to talk about jobs, it's going to talk about economic success, it's going to talk about Startup India, all the things, the PLI scheme, etc., which she has been working on. So this is something which is in her area, this is really her domain expertise, which is being brought into the manifesto committee, which is why it will, I think, be very heavily loaded in favor of economic goals rather than just political goals. So this is something we will have to watch out and study, not just journalists who normally do this kind of thing, but even bureaucrats. Everybody will have to study it, because this is what they want to do in the next 5 years or so.
Right. Just to follow up, Jayanto, we have heard the Honorable Prime Minister say that we are going to take some tough decisions if at all we are going to make it to the third term. So do you see some big bang kind of changes or big bang announcements in the manifesto coming up?
Well, more or less the road path has been enunciated in the previous manifestos and in the government announcements and the announcement which the Prime Minister has been making from time to time. So I don't see it being suddenly radically different from what has been talked about earlier, but possibly it will enunciate it better, it will explain the stuff better, so that you know how you're going to get to the $5 trillion economy, what steps you plan to do in terms of infrastructure construction, because infrastructure is going to be one big area. Again, for the next 5 years, We have seen in COVID, of course, the infrastructure spending was stepped up mainly to resuscitate the economy, which was in doldrums because of the global situation. But right now, if you're going to leapfrog the economy from where it is now, and if you really want to get into a developed world status by 2030 or a little beyond that, then you have to build a lot of infrastructure. You have not only got to do a lot of construction, but you have got to spend a lot on social infrastructure, which means education, health. These are going to be priority areas, and there's going to be a lot of talk of that in the manifesto.
जी जयंत, तो एक खबर आज हमारे पास बिहार से भी है कि चिराग पासवान की लोक जनशक्ति पार्टी ने आज अपने कोटे की 5 सीटों पर उम्मीदवारों की घोषणा कर दी है। एनडीए के साथ इस बार मिलकर लड़ रहा है ये लोक जनशक्ति पार्टी रामविलास। तो इस बार जो है ये हम देख रहे हैं यहाँ पर कि जमुई से इस बार उन्होंने चिराग पासवान ने अपनी सीट बदल ली है और अब हाजीपुर पार्लियामेंट्री सीट से अब क्या कहते हैं वो चुनाव लड़ने जा रहे हैं। इस बदलाव को आप किस तरीके से देख रहे हैं?
हाजीपुर तो खैर आपने खुद ही बोला कुछ देर पहले कि ये रामविलास पासवान जी के धरोहर था, सीट था, तो वहाँ पे इसलिए शायद वो जाने के लिए इच्छुक भी थे। पर दूसरी बात यह है कि जमुई में इस बार कॉन्टेस्ट काफ़ी जम के होगा। अगर आप देखें, अगर बिहार में कोई शक्ति उभर रही है, बीजेपी और बाकी जो एनडीए के जेडीयू या नीतीश कुमार जी की तो पार्टी भावी है ही है बिहार में, पर अगर कोई और चौथा एक कुछ उभर रहा है वो है सीपीआई एमएल, जो पहले भी आप देखेंगे एकदम आज़ादी के वक्त से एक कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी का, कम्युनिस्टों का कुछ जगह में उनका प्रभाव था। वो प्रभाव सीपीआई एमएल ने अब उठा लिया है। अब सीपीआई या सीपीएम का उतना दबदबा नहीं रहा है, और सीपीआई एमएल पिछले इलेक्शन में अगर आप देखें 12 सीटें जीते थे। वो जो पिछले जो नीतीश कुमार जी की जो पिछली गठबंधन था उनका वो समर्थक थे, बाहर थे, गठबंधन का अंदर नहीं थे, मंत्री उन्होंने किसी को बनाया नहीं था, पर उनका एक पावर है, उनका एक कह सकते हैं एक होल्ड है। तो जमुई सीट इंटरेस्टिंग फाइट रहेगा बिटवीन सीपीआई एमएल का जो भी कैंडिडेट है और रामविलास पासवान जी की जो पार्टी है, उसके बीच में एक जंग जो होगा वो काफ़ी जम के होगा। तो वो एक बात है। बाकी जो है, हमें चिराग पासवान उभरते हुए पॉलिटिशियन है, यंग पॉलिटिशियन है, चाहते भी हैं सब लोग कि वो लोकसभा में आए, उसके हाजीपुर इस हिसाब से एक अच्छी सीट है, वहाँ से वो लड़ रहे हैं, अच्छी बात है।
और अब हमारे साथ हमारे संवाददाता दिल्ली से भूपेंद्र सिंह।
We'll get connected to Bhupendra in a while, but in the meanwhile, Jayantu, we were discussing about the Bihar politics, and you were talking of the resurgence or rather continuance of the CPI-ML in the Bihar polity. But don't you think that in the past, let's say a couple of decades or more than that now, once the left parties, including the ML, of course, is a recent phenomenon as compared to the CPI or CPM, if you can say that. So do you feel that they have been kind of relegated to a corner now, with the RJD almost playing a big brotherly attitude towards them? And are they really doing justice to their potential that they seem to have at one point in time?
The potential that they had in the early days, let's say 50s or 60s, obviously was, wasted later
Phenomenal,
onwards.
yeah.
That was wasted later onwards. But then the CPIM also spawned a lot of parties which went underground, including CPI-ML, which is now overground. So these functioned in Bihar, as you know, and Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, etc. Some of them still function as underground parties. But CPI-ML, which is the, it was the original Naxalbari Andolan party, that came overground. It decided that its constitutional politics is its way out. And it seems somehow or the other, because of its cadre strength, it managed to get the local spots of where communism was popular. Those spots they have managed to gather. So this is a kind of small resurgence. I won't call it a huge resurgence. It isn't. 12 seats is not much, but it is there. They are a force. You have to reckon with them, and they are an ideological force. But the good thing is that, of course, that they are within the constitutional system. So Dipankar, who leads the party, he goes by one single name, Dipankar, because the party claims that it does not believe in various things, including surnames. Okay. So this is a force. But yes, Ramvilas Paswan, on the other hand, is a force too. You have to accept that Bihar is one place where after the after the 77 elections and after the Mandal Commission, you have had a resurgence of caste-based parties, and those parties have remained strong.
True.
Despite the resurgence of BJP as a party in Bihar. Congress was the only other all India party which was there earlier. Now you have BJP, which is really on the ascendant in Bihar. So other than that, these are basically parties which have caste support basis. So aside from that, this is the only other party. So this is an interesting phenomena which you see in Bihar. On the one hand, you have these parties which are based on certain caste and combinations, and you have parties which are more nationalistic, if you want to call it nationalistic, in approach.
जी, और हमारे दिल्ली से संवाददाता भूपेंद्र फोन लाइन पर मौजूद हैं। भूपेंद्र, आपसे जानना चाहेंगे कि दिल्ली में हम जैसे सभी जानते हैं 7 लोकसभा सीटें हैं, और राजनीतिक दलों की ओर से अब तक किन किन उम्मीदवारों की घोषणा की गई है, क्या अपडेट है आपके पास?
जी विशाल, दिल्ली में होने जा रहे आगामी लोकसभा चुनाव के दौरान बीजेपी और आम आदमी पार्टी और कांग्रेस गठबंधन के बीच कड़ा मुकाबला होने के आसार हैं। दिल्ली में 7 लोकसभा सीट है और यहां 25 मई को वोट डाले जाएंगे। आम आदमी पार्टी और कांग्रेस मिलकर चुनाव लड़ रहे हैं। दोनों पार्टियों ने मिलकर तय किया है कि 4 लोकसभा सीटों पर आप चुनाव लड़ेगी, जिसमें नई दिल्ली, पश्चिमी दिल्ली, दक्षिणी दिल्ली और पूर्वी दिल्ली की सीटें शामिल हैं। वहीं कांग्रेस उत्तर दिल्ली, उत्तर पूर्वी दिल्ली और चांदनी चौक सीट से मुकाबला करेगी। भाजपा की बात करें तो उसने सभी 7 संसदीय सीटों के लिए अपने उम्मीदवारों की घोषणा कर दी है। उत्तर पूर्वी दिल्ली से मौजूदा सांसद मनोज तिवारी को छोड़कर पार्टी ने अपने सभी मौजूदा 6 सांसदों को बदल दिया है और नए चेहरों को मैदान में उतारा है। पूर्व केंद्रीय मंत्री सुषमा स्वराज की बेटी बांसुरी स्वराज नई दिल्ली लोकसभा सीट से चुनाव लड़ रही हैं, जहां आपने विधायक सोमनाथ भारती को मैदान में उतारा है। पूर्वी दिल्ली से बीजेपी ने आप उम्मीदवार कुलदीप कुमार के खिलाफ हर्ष मल्होत्रा को मैदान में उतारा है। पश्चिमी दिल्ली में मुकाबला बीजेपी के कमलजीत सहरावत और आप के महाबल मिश्रा के बीच है, जबकि दक्षिणी दिल्ली लोकसभा सीट पर बीजेपी के रामवीर सिंह बिधोड़ी का मुकाबला आपके सही राम पहलवान से है। चांदनी चौक सीट से ट्रेडर्स एसोसिएशन के नेता प्रवीण खंडेलवाल बीजेपी के टिकट पर अपनी किस्मत आजमा रहे हैं, जबकि योगेंद्र चंदोलिया उत्तर पश्चिमी दिल्ली सीट से बीजेपी के उम्मीदवार हैं। हालांकि कांग्रेस ने अपने हिस्से की तीनों सीटों के लिए अभी तक अपने उम्मीदवारों के नाम घोषणा नहीं किया है। लोकसभा चुनाव में पिछली 2 बार से बीजेपी का पलड़ा भारी रहा है। 2014 और 2019 के लोकसभा चुनाव में बीजेपी ने आम आदमी पार्टी और कांग्रेस के उम्मीदवारों को हराकर सभी 7 सीटों पर क्लीन स्वीप किया था। जी विशाल।
धन्यवाद भूपेंद्र इस जानकारी के लिए। जयंत, तो हम ये अगर देखें कि पहली बार कांग्रेस और आम आदमी पार्टी दिल्ली में मिलकर चुनाव लड़ रहे हैं, और जैसे कि हमारे संवाददाता ने भी बताया कि 2019 में जो बीजेपी को जो वोट शेयर गया था वो दिल्ली की 7 सीटों पर 56.9% था, और कांग्रेस को 22.6% और आम आदमी पार्टी को 18.2%। यानी कि कांग्रेस और आम आदमी पार्टी का वोट शेयर को अगर जोड़ दिया जाए, वोट परसेंटेज को जोड़ दिया जाए, तो अभी भी ये 40.8% के आसपास बैठता है, जबकि बीजेपी से कहीं कम है। अब क्या आपको कुछ स्थितियों में बदलाव दिखता है, या यही कमोबेश यही स्थिति देखने को मिल सकती है 7 सीटों पर?
कहना थोड़ा मुश्किल है, क्योंकि आप जानते ही हैं पॉलिटिक्स में 2 और 2 हर वक्त 4 नहीं होता है। कम भी हो सकता है, ज़्यादा भी हो सकता है। अगर आप देखें 2020 का असेंबली इलेक्शंस में, उसमें आपको 53.57% मत मिला था। पर असेंबली और लोकसभा में फ़र्क है। असेंबली में बहुत लोग कहते हैं कि हम लोकल पार्टी को देंगे और नेशनल पार्टी को हम देंगे लोकसभा के इलेक्शन में, ये भी बात होती है। परंतु एक अलग फैक्टर ये है कि इस वक्त आपका प्रचार बहुत तेज़ी से चल रही है। उनका मुख्यमंत्री को एक केस में उनको अरेस्ट किया गया है। तो ये सब कुछ मिल मिला के एक कह सकते हैं घुलाटा सा एक समीकरण है, और जिससे इस वक्त कहा नहीं जा सकता है कि किस तरह से वोटर अपना रिएक्शन देंगे, मत देंगे। 2020 का आंकड़ा या 2019 का आंकड़ा से शायद 2024 का आंकड़ा पकड़ना ठीक नहीं है, पर हाँ, बीजेपी फिर भी उनका एक बहुत बड़ा एक कह सकते हैं एक पावर है इस वक्त में, क्योंकि बीजेपी मोदी वेव के हिसाब से नॉर्थ इंडिया में अंततः उनको वोट मिलता है, तो ये एक बड़ी बात है। पर हाँ, लोकल लेवल में बहुत सारे फैक्टर्स रहते हैं। जैसे आप चांदनी चौक की बात कर रहे हैं। चांदनी चौक में एक ज़माने में जयप्रकाश अग्रवाल जी का, कांग्रेस के जयप्रकाश अग्रवाल का बड़ा बोलबाला था। पीछे तो हारे हैं, परंतु अभी भी उनको ख़त्म नहीं किया सकता है। कह नहीं सकते कि उनका प्रभाव नहीं है उस कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी। इस तरह से बहुत लोग हैं जिनका लोकल बहुत प्रभाव रहता है। वहाँ पे हर वक्त नेशनल पॉलिटिक्स चलता नहीं है, वहाँ पे लोकल पॉलिटिक्स भी चलता है। तो वो कहते हुए कहना कि 7 सीट किसको मिलेगा, उस तरह से कहना बड़ा मुश्किल है, परंतु है छवि पूर्ण तरीके से क्लियर नहीं है।
Now moving on to the northeastern state of Manipur, and we are joined in by our Imphal correspondent Thakchom Joginderjeet. Thakchom, welcome.
Thank you, Nishit.
Thakchom, tell us what's the demographic composition of Lok Sabha seats in Manipur?
Nishit, if you ask about the demographic composition of Lok Sabha seats in Manipur, the state is divided in 2 portions in terms of its geography. The 6 Bailey districts are inhabited mainly by the Meitei population, while the remaining 10 districts are occupied by different tribes. So if we say Inner Manipur parliamentary constituency, it will be represented by Bailey people who are majority Meitei community. However, 7 state assembly segments of Bailey districts of the state are under the jurisdictions of Outer Manipur parliamentary constituency. So these voters of 7 state assembly segments, which are Meitei inhabited areas, have rights to cast their vote, but they cannot contest in the Outer Manipur parliamentary constituency, which is reserved for scheduled tribe. Back to you, Nishit.
Thakchom, the Inner Manipur seat is scheduled to go to polls on April 19th, while voters in the Outer Manipur seat will cast their votes on April 19th and 26th. That is in 2 phases. Now, what's the reason behind this special arrangement by the Election Commission?
The speculated reason behind such arrangement is due to security arrangement and to conduct the polls in topographical convenience. On April 19, voting in all 32 assembly segments, which are under the jurisdictions of Inner Manipur parliamentary constituency, will be held, and moreover 15 assembly segments, including 7 Bailey assembly segments, which come under Outer Manipur parliamentary constituency, will also go to poll on the same day. So thereafter, on April 26, the voting for the 13 remaining assembly segments of Outer Manipuri constituency, which are in almost all hill districts and mostly inhabited by Naga community, will be held. So by analyzing the arrangement, it is clear that the election authority seems to have an intention to conduct the voting of Bailey districts and some other assembly segments dominated by the Kuki community on the same day, and the remaining 13 hills assembly segments on another day, regardless of the jurisdictions of parliamentary constituency in Manipur. Apart from it, security arrangement can be also a reason, considering the present law and order situation and communal tension prevailing in the states.
Thank you so much, Thakchum, for your inputs. Thank you so very much. Jayantu sir, Manipur, as we have seen over the past some time, it's with the kind of unrest and things like that happening over there. How do you see the present scenario over there? And especially, we are talking of the Outer Manipur state, as Thakchum was also referring to. How do you see this panning out?
Well, as you know, Outer Manipur is mostly Nagas and Kukis, more Nagas than Kukis. So this time around, Naga People's Front is, I think, has put up Timothy Zimic from there. He's a retired IRS officer. And Congress has put up Alfred K. Arthur there. Again, he is also a Thankul Naga, like Timothy. So the fight really is, if you are talking about communities. So in that sense, it's really a fight between 2 Naga Thankul Nagas. Mm-hmm. The Kukis have not. No, none of the Kuki. There is a Kuki party which has seats, as you know, in the assembly, but they haven't put up anyone. Nor has BJP put up any. It has allowed NPF to fight that seat. So the fight is between these 2 gentlemen. So let's see. It will be. I would imagine that NPF may have a little bit of an edge in it. The Inner Manipur parliamentary seat, which is basically the Imphal Valley seat, the State Education Minister Basant Kumar Singh, who is very popular, is fighting there. So he is obviously a strong candidate. But the professor from JNU, who's also fighting on behalf of Congress, he has also become popular over the years because of his exchanges with the youth. So he has some kind of youth attraction. So this is a seat which we'll have to watch and see how the fight really evolves. So it's good. That is what the essence of democracy is, that there is a fight for the seat and not a walkover.
Absolutely. So now from the northeastern state of Manipur, we move to Ladakh, and we are joined in by our correspondent from Ladakh, Funsok Wangmo. Funsok, what's the demographic composition of Lok Sabha seats in Ladakh, and any update on the names of candidates as of now?
The Ladakh Lok Sabha seat is spread over Leh in Kargil district and has total number of 182,571 electors, out of which 91,703 are male voters and 90,867 are female voters. For these voters, the Ladakh administration has set up 577 polling stations. Bharatiya Janata Party and Indian National Congress are the two main national parties contesting for lone seat of Ladakh, but none of the parties have announced their candidature till date.
Thank you, Funsok. Jayanto sir, now this is the first time probably after the abrogation of 370 and the delineation of the three territories in Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh, of course. How do you see this panning out?
Well, 2014 and 19, the election was in favor of BJP, as you know. I think Jamyang Sering Namgyal is the sitting MP. He is likely to be put up by the BJP. His name has not been announced yet.
Okay.
And Congress will probably put up someone. That again will be a strong fight. You can't expect it to be a walkover, because after the abrogation of 370, Ladakhis actually welcomed it. There was a lot of demonstration in favor of the abrogation. Since then, it has become a union territory. They would like it to become a state. There has been a demand for that. Let's see how it pans out, but I'm sure both the parties would be supporting the demand, and that is about it.
So, thank you, Jayanto, for having discussed various issues and enlightened our listeners with your valuable input. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nishit, and thank you, धन्यवाद विशाल.
और कार्यक्रम में भाग लेने वाले हमारे संवाददाताओं और सभी सुनने वालों का भी धन्यवाद, और साथ ही साथ लोक निर्णय की टीम को भी धन्यवाद, जिनके प्रयासों से ये कार्यक्रम आप तक पहुंचा. श्रोताओं, ये कार्यक्रम आपको कैसा लगा हमें ज़रूर बताएं.
You may email your opinion about this program at airnsdtalks@gmail.com or at WhatsApp number on 92890940444. And with this, we conclude this program. We'll bring you more election-related news and political developments tomorrow at the same time. Until then, namaskar.